Good morning. It is 7 o'clock. Well, about a minute away. Nope. TV says 7 o'clock now. Good morning. Hello, everybody. Soft spot stamping. Wake up with Shelly or wake up with soft spot stamping. I'm trying to clean something here real quick. I'll show you here in a bit why I'm trying to do that, but just going to hang out here for a minute. I see somebody's just joined. So hello, good morning. Glad you're here with me this morning. Okay, we're going to have to see how if that'll work in some way, shape, or form. Hi, Beverly. I knew you would be one of the first ones on. So, good morning. Hey, guys. As I got down here, I was so uber prepared this morning. And when I was working last night, it was nice and quiet. And today, there's crickets. And I can't find them. But I have crickets as my backup singers, I guess. They're just humming right along. So, we've got the crickets going. Beverly, I've had 2 cups. Yeah, you're 8 o'clock, so you're a step ahead of me, but I had 2 cups of coffee this morning. Aha! I need more coffee. Oh, busy day today, too. So I'm really excited to show what I played with recently. I just recently got an order in, or some stuff, I should say, that was pretty excited about, and as I played with one of the sets last night, I got even more excited, and I did one thing 3 different ways, so hopefully we'll get to share some of that with you. I'm going to go ahead and I'm on a time constraint, always will be on the mornings, but I'm just fresher in the morning and I can make sense of things, whereas if I come home after work and try to do this, I'm like, what time is it? Is it nap time? Is it time to take a nap, time to eat dinner? I don't know what I'm doing at night sometimes. So anyway, I'm going to kick this right over and get to working on some stuff. So hang on just a second. I think I figured this out a little bit better. I just have to stand up to make sure that when I do flip you over, you're not seeing the selfie stick that I have attached. So give me 1 second and hold on. Hold your breath, close your eyes. I don't want to make anybody sick. And we're flipping. Okay, that's the other half of the messy office. Beverly, he's doing okay. Just has to wear this brace all the time, and it's he's still a little stiff, but I mean, he's got 3 more weeks. We were talking last night. He's got 3 weeks off of work, so we'll see. We will certainly see. All right, so thanks for asking, though. I appreciate that. So here's, yay, I got the stick out of the way so you can see the barely bottom of it. But here's my space, and I think it's going to work a little bit better. First things first, I want to go ahead and give away some prizes. So last week I mentioned that there were ways to enter into drawings for prizes. One way was to share my video, and if you share this on your personal page with your friends, type in the comments that you've shared this so that I know who to enter in. Facebook has some algorithms that I can't see. It says I have shares, but I can't see everybody who shared. So since last week, I entered everybody into the drawing, and I have 2 names right here. One for drawing, one for comments. So the first one is going to be, I think the white was the shared ones. So what I'm giving away for this one is the cotton ribbon, the red, real red actually. And that winner is, look, I don't even know, Crystal Scott. Hi, Crystal from Texas. Hey, Crystal, and I have something I want to specifically share with you. So when you watch this later today, let me know your thoughts, because today and tomorrow are the last days. But Crystal, make sure you PM me your address too, so I can send that to you. And the next one was for comments. And here I have, hi, Carmen. Hi, Sharon. Susan. Jeremiah Frazier. So Susan, when you watch this, if you could, please just send me your address so I can send that to you. And these are, these are the red rhinestone basic jewels. I just am digging these. See how cool they are? What? So congratulations, you 2 ladies. Make sure you send me your address so I can get those to you. Now, Crystal specifically was talking about my craftiness, and I told her last week, I said, everybody's crafty. it just depends, you know. We all have our craftiness. I was watching a show called Making It this week, and they say we all are crafty. We just have our different unique ways. Well, one of the cool things about Stampin' Up, and some of you who are demonstrators know this already, I'm in love with Paper Pumpkin. And this is July, and I haven't even opened it yet, so why don't we just do that? So I can kind of show you. Crystal, this is specifically for you because there's a special right now that if you sign up this month, and this month meaning today and tomorrow, tomorrow's the deadline, you can get your first kit for 50% off. That means it's $10 for your first month. $10, and I'm going to show you the cool stuff that you get. There's a promo code here, Bloom0818 for August of 18, Bloom0818. Ask me, I'll direct you to my store so we can get you signed up, and you can get your first kit for half off. Half off. Half off. 50%, $10. And you get all this cool stuff. So let's take a look at the cool stuff. So like I said, I haven't even opened mine for July yet. You get an ink spot. Stampin' Spot. This one happens to be soft suede so that you have the spot, the ink that you need to stamp your cards. And then you get these cool little stamps. To, from, for you. I like these designs. Those are cool. And then it comes wrapped in some blue tissue. And then you get your kit all packaged up. Now I will say I got one of the little baskets. My great friend Dina gave me a little basket with a little card in it. As I was meeting her for her last time I would see her here in her house in Waterloo, Cedar Falls, because she's moving today. Ha! Today! So, and then it comes all packaged together, so you get all this cool stuff. Now, I haven't opened mine to put it together yet. I'm going to leave it as is right now, because I got more stuff to show you. But that's what you get. And then you get I think on your first kit, you get a block, too, so you have something to put these on when you stamp your cards or your projects. Again, great deal. Message me if you want information. It's $10 for your first month. $10. It's a great steal. Okay. Now, the thing that I wanted to show you today has to do with this bundle that's available, or this product that's only available through the end of the month. It's Color Your Season. And this is some samples here. These are the stamps. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm kind of in love with just all of them, because it's not just fall. It's not just Christmas. It's not just spring. It's everything. I mean, I just miss you, and congrats. And look at the holly and berries here. I just love those. Now, what I did last night was I played with this, and I'm going to show you what I did. 3 different ways. The other thing, too, is look at these framelets. Okay? I love the frames. And I pulled out the framelit so I could show you, and I actually cut one. But this is, oh my goodness, these are awesome. If nothing else existed but the frames, I'd be a happy camper too. But I don't know if you can see, there's stitching on both sides of the cut line. So what happens is when you cut it out, you get the stitching on the cutout. And I know it's going to focus in and out for a second, so bear with me. And then you get the stitching on, okay, where are you going to go? You're going to show me? It's not going to focus for you now. But there it is. So you can see the stitching on that is too. So you can use this and lay it on top of a card. You can stamp on this and embellish it and stick it on. It's very, very, very fun. So I just love those framelets. And wait, there's more. New watercolor pencils. You can make, oh, you could, couldn't you? That's a scary ghost, but here's the bell die, the bell framelit. Yeah, I can see a ghost. Whoa! Beverly, I want to see a card that you make with that. That would be cool. Then you get these watercolor pencils. Now, we've had watercolor pencils some in the past, but they gave us 10 new colors. So you can see, and I've got 2 over here that I'm using today. So look how beautiful. So I think we have a total of 23 colors now in our watercolor pencils. I'm going to show you, demonstrate how to use those. So the framelits, the stamps, all go through August 31st or until supplies last, till they run out. So you can see here, there's the watercolor pencils that we've got, the framelits. Now you can bundle the framelits and the stamp set together, and that's here. always jump on my my page, softspotstamping.com, and click the shop now, and you can just put blended seasons, color your season, stitch seasons. Blended seasons is the grouping, and you save 10% when you order the bundle. The watercolor pencils, they say may or may not, they may carry over. Crush your fingers, because I really am in love with them. So if you do go to my, I'm going to leave this here. If you do shop on at my store, use this code D7PQVSK4. Anyone who purchases $50 or more in my, if your order is 150 or is less than 150, then shop at my store. If you have an order that's getting up there over 150, let's talk two things. Let's talk becoming a discount shopper, or if that's not of interest to you, then let's talk about putting your order on a separate order so you get all the rewards for that. Okay, so let's get started on what I wanted to show you. So as I mentioned, I got my blended seasons in, and I just think they're awesome. Now I really want to play with these after I played with what I played with last night. But I started out with the flowers, and the reason I started out with the flowers is because there was three ways that I wanted to three demos that I wanted to do for you today. The first one was using the Stampin' Right markers. Stampin' Right, yep, there you go. And so I picked out, what I did was I picked out colors that I could get in blends, in the Stampin' Blends, and in the watercolor pencils. So this is what I did with the Stampin' Rights. Now you can see here's the green, and it is Granny Apple Green. Then I did Flirty Flamingo. This one is the Petal Pink, a new color for us. And then this one is the Daffodil Delight, and that's just in the center of the flowers. So what I did was I stamped using the flower, and I think I used Memento on here. And you can see it adds some, you can add depth. You can color these. This is kind of an Art Nouveau kind of thing. I don't know. That's how I would recommend on doing that. So there's the Stampin' Right markers. So that's one version. Now the next, I'm going to hope they don't roll off. The next one I did, I'm going to put some of this stuff to the side because we're going to assemble the card. Well, that's blank. This one was with the blends, and you can see there is just some depth that you add when you use the blends. Now what happens with the blends, and I'm going to show you here in a second, is that you can lift color, you can color and shade with your different sets of colors. So you get a variety of techniques or a variety of looks that you can get from the blends. And we're going to practice with the blends here shortly. I'm going to put that right there because I did want to show you the blends. The last one I did, and we're going to play a little bit with this one. So for the Stampin' Blends, you're going to want to use Memento ink when you stamp your outline. Okay. I let mine dry today. We're not going to have a lot of dry time, but I do like to let the Memento dry. Now, also on the blends, I am using thick cardstock. So this is not the standard like I did with the Stampin' Right markers. I use just the regular cardstock, Whisper White or Very Vanilla cardstock. This is the thick cardstock, and that's why. Because you see what the blends do. Okay, and then the last one I used watercolor paper, and I used watercolor paper for a couple of reasons. One is I watercolored, two is I blended, and three is I just did a combo. I don't like the combo so much. It just kind of faded a little bit too much. But I wanted to demo two things. So it stays on for my watercolor pencils, and so I let this dry overnight. And I'm just going to take my pen, I'm using Flirty Flamingo, and I'm just going to take it, I'm going to color in. And it doesn't take a lot, but I really am just scribbling, right? And the first thing I'm going to show you is what happens when you use your aqua painter. Okay, so these are called aqua painters, and you fill them with water, and then you get a tip that you wet, and then so I like to get some of the water off, and then I just start coloring over, and you can see how it blends. Now, what happened on the first card I did last night was that it got a little too wet and it ran. So that's why I kind of pushed back on myself with that, but you can see that it does blend. And this watercolor paper is designed for the water. So that's why you want to use that. If you use standard, regular old cardstock, it's going to warp a little bit. You can lay it flat and it will dry. But you see that watercolor effect. To clean my brush, just wipe it off. There we go. Now, the next one that I used, the next tool I used is our blender pen. And this one I really, really, really love. So I'm going to make sure that it's clean. And you see it's just a tip, and all I do is to clean off. Now you see it looks like it has some green. There's no green coming off. So we're just going to now color. Okay, so I'm taking my blender pen and I'm just going to color. Now, if I wanted it lighter in places, I don't press as hard. You can see it's getting a little bit lighter. So those are our two watercolor paper options. Kind of like it. I'm going to clean that off here real quick. So aqua painter, blender pens, and your watercolor pencils. This is just if I'm sitting down relaxing and I wanted to do something, I would stamp a bunch of these with StazOn, take them upstairs, watch TV with my hubs, and come in and just sit there and color. And you can see it's not a lot of difference. There's a little more shading here than here. I just like the watercolor. Okay, so now I want to show you what I did with the Stampin' Blends. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our Memento ink and we're going to stamp our image here. Now I want to make sure that I'm getting a good outline, and I know the table is shaking, so the camera's shaking a little bit. That's what happens when you're crafty, the earth shakes. Haha. Okay, and then I'm just going to take it and I'm going to lay it down. I'm going to give it a good hard press. There we go. Okay, looks like a good, and that's a good big image. I really like that. So then I'm going to dry it a little bit. And as you're coming and going, like I mentioned earlier, if you share this video and you comment on this video, and this will be up all day, guys. I mean, this is going to be up forever until Facebook goes bye-bye, maybe, I don't know. But anyway, share, comment, like, buy from my store. All of those things will get you entered into drawings for free stuff. And like I mentioned earlier, I gave away cotton ribbon to Crystal Scott, real red cotton ribbon, and red rhinestones to Susan Frazier. So that was for last week. This week, make sure you comment. If you do share, please make sure you comment in the comments that you did share, because that way I'll be sure to see it. Okay, so let's take a look at the one that I did last night. This is what I did. And so I outlined everything with the dark Flirty Flamingo, and then I colored it in with the light Flirty Flamingo Stampin' Blend. So let's just try something different today. I'm going to take and I'm going to highlight just the inside of the flowers. You can see I'm not being real paying attention to linesy kind of girl here. I am usually a line color within the lines kind of girl. So it's a little bit challenging for me. And then I'm going to take the light Flirty Flamingo Stampin' Blend, and I'm just going to start coloring. And you can see what happens here is that this kind of picks up and shades in my dark Flirty Flamingo, so that the highlight, the draw to, is really on the inside of the flower, right? And let's say I didn't want to do as much shading on this one. I don't want it to mix up as much. I'm not going to color over those dark Flirty Flamingo lines as much. It's going to be a little more highlight in the center there. So I'm just really trying to color on the outside of the inside of the flower. Pretty pretty. Okay, then we're just going to kind of do a combo here. Kind of pretty shading there, right? You could always, if you wanted darker, I know, Carmen, isn't it awesome? If you wanted darker inside, you could always go over it again with the with the dark. Now I'm using dark Daffodil Delight for the center. And I'm going to just leave that one in the dark. Leave it in the dark. You can see here the two different looks we're getting on our flowers. And then I just took the dark Granny Apple Green, and I really did just go down. Now this one I forgot to do these little flowers here. Oh, it's okay. So see what I did here? I went out of the lines a little bit on my stem. So I'm going to take my color lifter, and I'm just going to go in and lift some color here. Went outside the lines, but I kind of shaded it in with that color lifter. I took up some of that Granny Apple Green that got away. She kind of went crazy on me. Can you hear the crickets? I love hearing them. Not. I have one that tried to jump in the car with me the other day. Can we just say Shelly would have had a wreck? Shelly does not like driving with bugs in the car. Shelly would have had a wreck. Had that cricket jumped on me and I'd not known it was in the car. Oh, goodness gracious. Someone call the police. And you can see I've left these dark Granny Apple Green lines a little more pronounced for the most part. I did color over them. But here's what we're going to do. I know, right? Crickets in the car, yuck. Okay. So then we're just going to color. I'm going to blend this a little bit. I'm going to pick up some of the color and I'm going to shade it, like really strategically shade it here. And let's see what happens. I'm going to take some color off of that. We'll take some color off the tip here. And again, this is the thick Whisper White cardstock. You can see the different shading levels that happen when you take up the color. Right? And as it dries, it'll shade even more. I really like this one. Oh, Beverly, thanks. It takes practice. I mean, it really does. But you can see I went out of the lines and I could just go here and pick up some of that color. Now, I will say, sometimes I wish it would pick up more of the color, but make sure when if you're using the Stampin' Blends, you hear that click. Okay, they are alcohol based. They will dry out. Got to hear that click. Okay, so if you look at the back side, you can see why I use the Whisper White Thick. I will say this too. There are some stamps that I want to color with the blends that I want the back side, because I think that it would be, I just think it would be really pretty. I just saw my niece Sarah pop on. Hi, Sarah. How's my Addie and how is Cade? My niece Sarah is in Oxford area, Mississippi. She lives in the area of that other school in Mississippi. You know, mine is Mississippi State. And yeah, she lives at that other school area. That's okay. I love her anyway. And her husband, fiance, I should say, just had major surgery a couple weeks ago. So, all right. So there we have the card. Now, I'm not going to color over those because I kind of like that dark light effect. So what I did, or what I thought I would do here, is I have Flirty Flamingo and Granny Apple Green. I just thought those were great colors. And I'm just going to use, no, I'm going to use this. I'm going to use my Tombow glue, my multi-purpose adhesive. And sometimes you just have to click off the stuff at the end. And I'm going to attach this to the Flirty Flamingo. Now, there's no cinnamon on here yet. So there's a couple in here. Good. Okay, so I'm hoping all goes well with Kate's checkup. So in the sentiments here, there's "You're the friend everyone wishes they had," which I totally love. "I just miss you. Congrats." Then there's "Thank you. Wishing you all the best. Merry Christmas." I decided I just wanted something plain and simple. And so I chose the Granny Apple Green stamp pad and the "Congrats." And we're just going to I'm going to put congrats down here at the bottom. Pretty, pretty. But wait, there's more. So here is one of my favorite ribbons. And I just got it. It's the textured weave ribbon. And it's in what color? Yep, you guessed it. Granny apple green. So I think what I'm going to do is take it, and I want to tie just a small, I don't know that a bow would be too big with this ribbon, I believe. So we're just going to take it. I'm going to tie a knot. Yep, somebody's walking down the street because one of my dogs is barking. So Kane decided he's my Stampin' helper. He comes in occasionally and sits down here with me and climbs in my lap and thinks he's going to put together cards. Yeah. He's a mess. And I say he's my baby, but it's only because in age. He's 2 and Danica's 4, but he's like probably the same size as Danica. So they're not small dogs. Oop, I did that one the wrong way. I always do that. And we're going to trim this one a little bit more. Okay, then I'm just going to pop up my card onto the base. And I really do like the way this one came out. Oh my gosh, this was so much fun. Let me move that. What a cute little card, huh? Congrats! I do like the blends. I like the different effect looks you can get. One pronouncing the outside, one pronouncing the inside. So there's my 3 different coloring techniques of the week. There you have the Stampin' Write markers. Move some stuff around here. You have the Stampin' Write markers, you have the blends here, and then you have the watercolor pencils here. So I hope you had fun today, or I hope you like what you saw. Like I said, please share this video to your friends. Stampin' Up! Card making, scrapbooking may not be your cup of tea, but you probably have some friends who do like it. Share with them, please. I appreciate it. I am kicking my business into gear, and would appreciate all of your support anyway, just from watching this video. So hopefully I've inspired you today to either go home tonight after work or take a lunch break and try to get your creativity on and make something cool, make something from the heart that's from you. Thanks everyone for joining me, and I'll be back next Thursday morning at 7 o'clock, and hopefully with a coffee cup then. I left it upstairs, so coffee number 2 is sitting waiting on me upstairs. Thanks everybody. Have a great day. Bye-bye.